left a comment and said she needed something for her tight hamstrings. And something I know about Chris is that she is a runner, and I have had several dance students who are suffering with trying to get their kicks height because they're also runners. And your tight hamstrings will be caused by running, or you might have weak hip flexors if you have a career where you sit a lot. So I will show you some exercises and stretches to help unlock your hamstrings. One thing that you'll want to have is either an elasta band, or if you don't have a fancy band, you can use a belt or a scarf. So let's start out by taking a look at our posture. We want to think about getting our pelvis into the proper alignment, having our chest lifted and supported by the core and the shoulders down and back, making sure that our chin isn't sticking out, so our spine is just nice and straight, and weight is over the balls of the feet. A lot of times if you're an athlete, if you're a runner, you think about, oh, I have to stretch out before I run and then cool down afterwards. But really the ideal time to stretch, if we're interested in elongating our hamstrings, is after you have exercised. So don't stretch first, is what I'm saying. First you warm up, then you work out, then you can get a nice deep stretch. In order to really unlock your flexibility, you have to have your muscles warmed up. So we're going to do just a brief warm up, and this is going to be beneficial because one of the reasons why you have tight hamstrings and tight hips is you need to strengthen up your glutes. So one good warm up is killing two birds with one stone, is to just do squats like this. And so every time you come up, you want to feel that little muscle right underneath your bum that feels kind of like, if I'm going to pull up my tights or pull up tight pants, you can feel this little muscle right here that lifts you up. You also want to think about protecting your knees. Some people, too much bending. You should be continuing to bend with me as I will chatter on about what our thoughts should be. Oh, they're like, oh, if I bend my knees, they're killing me. But so if you're using these big muscles back here that are tightening right here every time you stand up, then that is strengthening and lifting from the back, warming up, firing up these muscles that we're getting ready to stretch out, and also really just supporting your knees. So you'll notice that when I bend, I stick my bum back because you don't want your knees to be going forward like this. You want to try to keep your knees stacked right over your ankles as you continue to lift up, warm up those muscles, get them fired up, and also strengthening your glutes. Good. Now, the next thing that we want to do is make sure that we can unlock our hamstrings, get in touch with these muscles back here. We're going to do a forward bend. And a lot of times when people are rounding forward, which is nice, that makes my back feel good, but you're just getting a hump from up here. This is in no way engaging your hamstrings at all. It's just comfortable on your back, but it's not really a hamstring stretch. One problem is that you're not flexible enough to get down into your hamstrings. So we're going to just relax over. We're going to start out by bending our knees and then lay your belly flat down against your legs. And you can lock your hands behind if you want, or you can just let them hang over for balance. Now, as you keep your stomach and your chest pressed into your thighs, now you'll gradually straighten your knees until you come to a point where you can feel the stretch back here. So you're going to press up through these sits bones back here, stretching up this way. And now I'm not just bending my back, but I've reached down into my glutes down here, and you can release it for a second and then stretch again. And this This is a nice moderate stretch. You're definitely only pressing up to the level of your comfort, but you're also, I want you to remember what that feels like when you're stretching right here. As we continue into the other stretches, make sure you're always trying to feel, press up through the tailbone. Good. Now release your knees and now roll up. You can round your back to stand up. Good. That's the first stretch. Now let's sit down on the floor. We're going to lie down on our back again, and we're going to pick up your elastiband or your belt. So lie down again. Now this time you know immediately how to press your back into the floor, and you have your core engaged. We're going to test to see for agility. Let's have both legs straight out on the floor. Now just lift one leg up until you see how far you can lift it. They say about, so this would be 90 degrees. If you can lift your leg to about 80 degrees, that's normal. So this is a good range of motion for the average person. So this would be the first gentle stretch that we could do to try to increase this range of motion here. And if you can't reach your leg, that's where you can get your elastiband and pull forward on your leg. And don't like yank on it, don't keep bouncing it, but just come up to where that's a nice stretch for you, and just hold a static stretch. And then again, remember, if you fire your muscles and if you get them warmed up, you'll stretch even further. So the elastic is nice, or whatever you have, press against it. So I'm holding this band tight. I'm engaging my glutes and my hamstring muscles to pull that away. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then try to stretch again gently. Don't snap it up. You should be able to stretch a little further. So hold that there for a minute. Enjoy this nice static stretch. Again, never pull to where, if you feel something start to tingle, you're about to hurt yourself. So back off. It shouldn't be painful. It should just be a nice stretch. So let's do that once again, pressing against the band. And make sure that you feel this with your glutes and the hamstring. Fire it up, get it a little warmer, and then let's stretch it again. See if this time you can stretch a little further. And just hold it. Seeing these ballerinas that pull their foot all the way down to their ear. But as I said, 80%. This should be your goal right here. If you can't at least get this high, this is what you should aim for right here. Okay, let's try that on the other leg. Just test. I know I'm looser on my right leg than I am on my left leg. See if you can get to 80%.
I meant to say
here.
80 degrees.
If you grab your leg, it's fine, but the elastic band does give you that extra fire in your muscles. So stretch it up, get a comfortable stretch for a few seconds, and then press against it. Got all that resistance from the resista band. Firing up your muscles. This band that I have here, I don't know what strength it is pretty lame. It's pretty easy to stretch. So if I had a stronger band, that would give me more fire in my glutes. And then stretch again, pull it up, and just hold it. Think happy thoughts. Think how this is good for your posture. And your posture will make you feel better. It's better for your back. It's better for your breathing. That's Violet, my dog. You can hear her jingling. It's better for your internal organs. Did I say that? And it also Takes 10 pounds off just standing up straight. Makes you look better. Stretching again. And just hold it again to your own ability. Make sure, as I said, it shouldn't be a sharp pain. It shouldn't tingle. If you are sufficiently warmed up, you'll tell when you should stop pulling, hopefully. Good. Okay, so that's a good stretch. Now, next thing we're going to do is check to see your strength in your glutes. This exercise is good for strengthening the glutes, which will support your hamstring health and support your back and your core. Hi, Violet. She's going to help me out. So you can also check for your hip strength. Hi, Violet. You can check for your hip strength. See if you can extend one leg and do glute raises. You should be strong enough to do these raises with one leg. Put that down. Check out the other side. We're going to make sure that we're even on both sides. We get the same workout going both ways. There, I'm doing that better. Really feel that in your glutes. Strengthen and warm up, and this will make us stretchier. Good. Now, another exercise we can do to open up your hip flexors is to take your right leg and cross it over your left leg, and then we're going to lift the knee, reaching behind. And then I like to take my elbow of this hand, or you can take your hand and press out on that right knee. So this is opening up your right hip socket. So you need to get looser in your hamstrings and your hip sockets, all those ligaments, tendons that are holding things in place. You need to get in touch with those, and we can reverse. Put your left knee over your right and lift up. I'll try to stretch out against this left knee. That feels really good. This feels good after ab work also. Now you can put your legs down, and you can grab your right leg again wherever you can. If you can grab it down here, fine, up here, and stretch. Now take that leg and open it out to the side. I probably should have this leg straight now. Opening up your hips. Now take that leg across. Now I have my right leg going across my body. I'm grabbing that with my left hand and pulling it down towards the floor and up towards my shoulder. That feels nice. Now we're going to stretch the left leg again. Grab it down here if you need to. I'll take it out to the side, opening up your hips that way. And take it across your body. That feels really good on my spine as well. Nice stretch. Okay, another exercise that we can do is come over on your side, and both knees are bent, and we're going to engage these muscles back here by just lifting our knee up. And this is sometimes called a clamshell. We're strengthening these muscles right back here, opening up your hip flexors. And I would do 8 to 10 on each side. 7, 8, Good, you start feeling a nice cramp in your hip, your back a little bit. And we'll swing over to the other side and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do 10. 9, 10. Good. Now while we're down, so another good stretch is, we call it the butterfly. So you're going to put, when I say put the palms of your feet or the soles of your feet together in front of you and just bounce your knees out to the side. Again, as you're doing this, you want to think about that first thing that we practiced where we wanted our pelvis not to be tilted back like this. As we stretch, you want to sit up tall on your sits bones, so now that you can feel that stretch back there in your hamstring area. Also opening up your hips to the side. If you find that you want to be pressing your knees down towards the floor, so if you find that your knees are just up here by your shoulders, you can scoot your feet out a little bit away from you. If that helps you get more of a flat back into your stretch and get your knees a little closer to the floor. So just hold this position for a while, especially when you're nice and warm. You can keep rounding over and feel that more and more. Opening up your hips, and in the process you are unlocking your hamstrings. Another good hip and hamstring stretch. While you have one leg there, you're going to take the other leg out behind you, and you want to roll forward over your right leg, and your left knee should be facing the floor. Your hips should not be twisted open. You try to press this left hip down towards the floor. So your hips should be square, your shoulders should be square, and you're just relaxing down into a nice stretch in your right hamstring and your right hip. Opening that up, sitting up as nice and tall as you can in that position. Roll off of that, and we'll go the other way. In dance, we call this a jazz splits. In yoga, it's the pigeon pose. So making sure that you have, always thinking about your hips in alignment, reaching forward with your right hip here at the stretch. Good. Now we're going to stand up again, and we are going to test out our hamstring looseness. We're going to do a little kickball change. So if you rock back on your right foot, step forward on your left, and kick up with your right leg. So this is a ball change, kick, ball change, kick, and just test your flexibility. Keep your hips in, so you're trying to keep this flat back and loosen up your legs. Let's try it with the left leg now. So rock back on your left foot, step forward on your right. That's your ball change, kick, and ball change, kick, ball change, kick. This will strengthen your legs. And good. So I hope that you are feeling much more flexible now. And as I said at the beginning, probably the key thing is to make sure that you're nice and warm before you try to stretch. Make sure that you are not rounding over. Have this flat back. Engage your hamstrings. Unlock. And happy stretching. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope that you found some value in this video and that you think that this will help you out. If so, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to see whenever I put out a new video, hit the bell to be notified. And remember that subscribing is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps me out, and you'll see my videos whenever they come out. I hope you have a great week. Stay well and healthy, and I will see you here next time. Bye-bye.